don't record anything. I'm like, go and talk. Great, recording. Hi guys, I'm just talking about Built to Last because we have some new people on the call. I'm talking about how much I love Built to Last and why I love it, and primarily because Keith is really spiritual and he's really grounded. And everything he writes in this book is coming from such a heart-centered place and such like a real authentic place, which I absolutely love about him. I think he's like super legit. So this month the book club that we're doing is on this book, and next month we're not doing a book club. So basically every other month in the team we do a book club. We'll pick a personal development book together. We'll read it together, we'll discuss it on the team call, and then the following month we'll do training videos or topics, depending. So Sable and I kind of create a calendar for the entire team 6 months ahead of time, and then we do it 6 months for the second half of the year when we meet up at Summit every year. So that's kind of like our ritual. So I don't know if you physically have the book with you, but the first 3 chapters of this book, he talked a lot about mindset, legacy, and leadership, and he defined those 3 things. The second portion of this book, which is what we're discussing today, he talks about a personal development plan for yourself, your belief system, and leading others, positioning yourself as a leader. So we're going to start with personal development plan. So if you don't know, one of the 4 pillars of our business, or 4 vital behaviors, is personal development. Beachbody has a huge emphasis on personal development and mindset. Pretty much the biggest thing that we would talk about when it comes to training. There's a lot of training you can do that's business specific, that'll teach you technical things, that'll teach you how to run a challenge group or how to run a team, or what Success Club is, all those things which you're learning in your new coach unit. But personal development, I think, is one of those things that is really tempting not to do as often. And it is the one thing that will actually sustain your growth long term. And personal development is about looking right now in your life, the gaps in your experience of reality. And he even talks about that a little bit. He has a segment that says 52 books a year is not a personal development plan. Most distributors fall short focusing on what are the activities that I have to do, and leaders focus on who is the person that I need to become in order to build the team that I want. Becoming is really like the point of growing in any business. I don't care what the model of the business is. Becoming is an essential component of leadership in business, because when you start a business, you have that motivation, that desire initially, but that wears off. That's not what actually sustains you. What sustains you is your growth, is the way that you expand as a human being and adapt and discover resilience and meet head on with obstacles and difficult situations, address them successfully, and continue to move forward. Where a lot of people fall short is that they will meet an obstacle or they'll meet a situation that's challenging. They'll say, I can't do this, and then they back away. And then they leave the situation or the opportunity, and they imagine that the problem was the situation or the opportunity. And what really happened was that they did not give themselves an opportunity to discover resilience. And that is a super important quality of leadership in any entrepreneurial endeavor. And I should know that because I've had so many businesses. I started at a very young age when I was 21 opening businesses, and the first one was a local coffee tea shop, which we lost. And then it was a private practice doing Turo and spiritual counseling as a minister. And then it was with bodywork and a travel massage business in Miami, Florida, which was crazy, super busy. And then coming up here and having my own practice again and doing coaching and then doing Beachbody. So there's been a lot of trying different models of business, both physical and digital. And I will tell you that doesn't make a difference, the model of business that you're in. If you are not having a plan for how to sustain your growth here, then you won't actually be able to sustain any business, because your business is going to need you at different stages to grow and grow and grow. The obstacle you have right now in your business will not be the one you have in a year. You will need to become a different version of who you are right now to address the obstacles that you're going to have in a year, and then in another year, and then in another year. So personal development cannot be overlooked. It's not one of those things that you can just be like, oh, I don't feel like reading. I don't feel like listening to an audiobook. It's like, no, you better. Like, this is important. It should not be skipped. This is like the oxygen of you developing as a leader. So I want to talk a little bit about bridging the gap, because a lot of times, sometimes what happens in personal development is we tend to gravitate towards the things we like to read about. Have y'all noticed that?
Yep.
If you're super spiritual, you're like, I'm just going to read this devotional and count it as like personal development. And it's like, no, that's really comfortable for you. That's not the personal development you need to be reading. So one of the things he says is, he asks this question: what's the piece that you're not willing to do in this business? Okay, so no matter if you're a brand new coach or you've been here for a while, what is the thing that you are not willing to do? If you want success at the highest level, you have to get your I'm not willing to do that list as close as possible to zero. It's always the place you don't want to go, the things you don't want to admit that you need to address, that you need to improve, that you need to work through. That fear, that doubt, that insecurity, that depression, that I'm not good enough self-talk, that piece you've been carrying with you since childhood, whatever that is, get clear about those places you don't want to go, those things you don't want to do, because that's where real change and growth occurs. Once you know what you need to start working on, find the right resources to help you. Find people who have been there, who have done it before you. Model them. What is it that they've done? How have they gone through it? How have they reinvented themselves? You may hire a mentor or a virtual mentor. Maybe it's your sponsor. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone you work with one-on-one, although it can be. Your resources may be books, CDs, courses, success partners, someone to model. You may get a therapist. There are so many possibilities. I wish there was a checklist or a formula, but this process is different for everyone. If there were a formula, it would be a simple one like this. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? Create a plan to bridge that gap. Okay? So, if what you're struggling with is talking to people you don't know already, then that's the kind of resources you start to have to look for. Whether it's online videos about how to start new conversations with people. Chalene Johnson is one of our super trainers, but she also has a very successful marketing business, and she talks all about how to grow your business online through social media. She's the queen of this stuff. So look up Chalene Johnson and watch her videos on YouTube. She's really, really good at teaching this stuff in a funny, down-to-earth way. If it's sending an invitation or ask someone to work with you, maybe it's asking someone to join your team. Maybe it's asking someone to join a fitness accountability group that you're hosting. If that is a thing, then that's what you need to start watching videos on or reading books on, like how to invite someone to do something. Maybe it's about sales. Maybe you have this weird thing around sales and the concept of sales. I just posted a really powerful podcast episode from the Life Coach School in our team page where Brooke Castillo, who's my coach, talks about this concept of sales and how we've sullied the word and we've sullied the concept into this really like scary thing, and how valuable that actually is as a skill set to master. Maybe that's the kind of work that you have to do on yourself. So the homework from this segment is to really figure out, what are the things that I'm not willing to do or that make me very uncomfortable right now? And that is the place that you begin with your personal development out of the gate. That's the very first place that you begin. He has action steps at the end of that chapter. But one of them is, if you have not done it yet, make a list of all the positive qualities of the leaders that you admire. Number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate yourself on each of the positive qualities you admire in other leaders. Number 3, given your list of qualities and your current rating, reflect on the long-term and short-term goals you put together. With those goals in mind, what 3 qualities, if improved, will have the biggest positive impact on the achievement of your goals? So basically, who do you admire? Why do you admire them? How do you rate yourself in those very same qualities? And what 3 of those qualities could help you get to your goals faster? I think that's a really sound exercise. And then, of course, having PD that matches the qualities you want to improve. That's just smart to do. So build to last in your belief was chapter 5, and this one is actually really powerful. I don't know if you have the book with you, Tanya, or not. I don't know if you're listening to the audiobook or your physical book. I don't even know.
Yeah, I have it on Kindle, I believe, somewhere.
Okay. So then giving you page numbers would not serve.
I'm a faster visual reader, I guess.
Okay. Do you have any
Electronic.
quotes from chapter 4 that you highlighted? I don't know if you can highlight it. I don't
Yeah.
even know how those work. So
Yeah. Yep, you can.
that's how technologically advanced I am. So share with us your favorite quotes from chapter 4.
Yeah, I don't have my Kindle with me right now. I was trying to look and see where it is, but I have no idea. It's my daughter and her dad came over yesterday, and everything just looks like a tornado hit it. So, yeah, that's where we are.
So the second segment on belief was really about your perspective on this business. And the segment that I consider to be most valuable was, can I do this is the wrong question. I thought that was really powerful. Most people who intend to build a large organization roll around in their mind questions like, can I do this? Do I have what it takes? Is this going to work for me? Am I wasting my time? Those are the wrong questions. The right question for you to ask is, am I willing to do what it takes to become the person I need to become? The reality is that you can't do it right now as you are. You can't do it with your current level of skills. If you could, you would already be there and not reading this book. Once you shift the question, what's repeating in your mind, to am I willing to do what it takes, and you answer yes, here's where you live. I can, I will, I am. I can, I will, I am. I can, I will, I am. Repeat that over and over. Keep seeing it, believing it, taking daily action until you know with certainty that your dream is coming to fruition. I thought that was extremely powerful, because I did ask all those questions, and most new coaches ask all those questions, and it's the complete wrong question to ask yourself. Because when someone's like, can I be successful at this? I'm like, of course you can. Like, anybody can be successful at this. That's not the question. The question is, will you be successful at this? Like, will you do what you need to do to heal whatever's in your way to create success for yourself? You don't have to, but that's really the question. That's what it comes down to, like, in the end. And he also talks about perspective, about how you share this opportunity. What if you started looking at your network marketing business that way? Instead of, I don't want to message them, I don't know if they're going to want this, they might make fun of me, they might ignore me, they might be turned off. What if you start approaching others knowing you have a gift? What if you approach the day looking for every opportunity to share this gift? See the difference? Can you make that shift right now? You have to understand that the biggest obstacle to your success is you. It's you and your own limiting beliefs. Let them go. Receive this gift and then gift it to others. Our business is that simple. I thought that was so brilliant, because again, that's the same internal conversation we all have. Every single one of us does the same thing. We're like, am I going to bother them? I don't want to bother them. I don't want to get rejected. I don't want them to think I'm dumb, blah, 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 whatever that story is that we tell ourselves, right? And the truth is that we're just scared, and that's okay. But also, what if you just chose to have a different perspective? What if you just chose to see this as you giving a gift? And if someone says no to the gift, it's not personal. It's just like, oh, they don't want the gift. Okay, moving on. Doesn't that feel like a completely different experience? I feel like that's a totally different perspective. Like, I knew that, but reading it was different. I was like, yes, smart. And I love this affirmation, and I'm going to read it out loud, and I expect every single one of you guys to write it and read it every single day. What I have to offer is a gift, not a burden. I've made the decision to let go of any fear of approaching others with my opportunity. I know our industry has the ability to change the lives of those who join and the generations who follow. So good. So good. That is on chapter 75 in the physical book. And if you're digital, I don't know, but it's at the end of chapter 5. So if this is where you struggle with your belief, then write that down and read it to yourself all the time. It makes a big difference. Okay. So the whole first half of this book was reading about leading ourselves. The second half of this book is about leading other people. And chapter 6 is like the second segment of this book. And it talks about positioning yourself as a leader, or how I refer to as posture. Your posture in the online world, the kind of posture you have in your community. You must be seen as a leader from the start. This is how he opens the chapter. To build a team of leaders, you must position yourself in the eyes of others as a leader from your initial contact, and just when you start to work with them. When you are recruiting, people have to see you as a leader, which involves conveying to everyone you come across in this business that you know what you're doing and where you're going, and you're offering an invitation to come along. When I signed up as a distributor, I went all in and talked to everybody. I knew about the business opportunity. I shared in a simple but passionate way. I just got signed up as a distributor for XYZ company. Not sure if you've heard of them before, but it's something I'm going to run with 100%. Would you be willing to check this out? You don't have to commit or sign up, but please check it out. That is such a simple invitation. And another one that I like to send out in the same way is, hey, I do this thing in combination with my therapy. So I target my niche as massage therapist. So I do this online fitness work in combination with massage therapy, and it works really beautifully. I think it might really be something that you dig, given that you post about fitness, are also a therapist or whatever. I give them the reasons why I think they would love it. Would you be willing to check out some short videos about it? Yes or no? They say yes, I send them the form. Like, that's it. That's my invitation. If I don't hear back from them, or I don't get an email that they filled out the form, I check in with them. Sometimes they then fill it out, and then we set up a time to talk. Sometimes they don't, and then I just like follow up one more time, and then I let it go. But that kind of sharing is super simple to do and can be done with more people than you think relatively quickly. And it's also genuine. You're expressing to them why you even are bringing up this opportunity to them. And again, you're offering a gift. They're saying, yes, I want this gift, or not really. And then you're like, okay, end of story. That's literally it. Steps to getting others to see you as a leader. Some of you have asked me, how do I do that if I'm struggling with feeling that way? He outlines it in this book perfectly. Number 1, approach people with faith, enthusiasm, and action. Number 2, present a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, which it is. Number 3, position yourself as the one in charge as a leader. So I don't really like the term fake it till you make it, but I do like the term faith it till you make it. Because when I started, I rode my business out on enthusiasm. That's all I had. I was like really pumped. I was excited. I was feeling better. I looked better. And I rode that out for my whole first year. Basically was my initial success. It was just on enthusiasm. So even though I didn't have all the answers and I didn't know all the things, I was extremely enthusiastic. And so people bought that. They bought the enthusiasm and they came with me. And then of course they loved it and they saw results. But the initial exchange was really based on just my enthusiasm. I like this definition of sales. It's been said that sales is simply a transference of energy and belief from one person to another. That is like so brilliant. And I remember Andrea Crowder said something like this on a call when I first joined. And she said, the person with the most belief will always win when it comes to like an interaction. So with sales, it's really about who has the strongest belief. Either the person that you're talking to, that you're inviting into the opportunity or into your fitness community, will have a stronger belief that they don't need that or don't want to participate or are resistant than your belief in what you do, or you will have a stronger belief in what it is and what it can do for them. And so that transference kind of overrides the other one. So the strongest belief will be the one that wins out in a conversation, pretty much always. And how I use that in my work is I really solidified my belief. Maybe I didn't have a belief in like growing a team when I was a young coach, but I did believe in what I was doing for me. I believed in how I was changing my life and how I could improve my life. And I knew that if I did it, that meant that someone else could do it also. So I kind of used that, I rode that energy, and I let that be the transference of energy when I talk to people. So he gives you some ideas like, announcing that you have a new training coming up, announcing that there's going to be a new product release, or a new country you're going to be in. So these are all kind of tactical things on how to present yourself as a leader and as, part of a company that's growing and moving. And then he gives you a checklist, actually, of like step-by-step what he does with his new coaches, his new recruits. He does an application, which I do also. I made it on Google Forms. It's free. You can even embed videos, which I did. And then they can watch some videos, they can fill out the application. And before you even get on the call with them, which is what I do next, and that's what he does too, a follow-up phone call or video interview, I already read a little bit about them. I already know some about them. So when we get on the phone, it's really about like answering whatever questions they have and getting them set up. And then after that, they get set up, sending them a welcome email, which I also do, and then getting them on a getting started right call, which I also do. So he lays that out for you in this book. So if you're like, I don't know what to do with coaches when they join my team, now you do. Now you know exactly how to begin that relationship, because he gives you, and he even gives you bonus material on his website. He gives you like the application that he sends his people. And he also gives you like a script for the interview that he does with them. He gives you a lot of bonus material. Right here in the interview section, he tells you where you can find his interview. You can listen to an audio too. He gives you a sample of their welcome email. He gives you a sample of the getting started right call. So he really lays out a beautiful, chapter 6 is really where he starts to give you like tactical things. Like, this is what I do in my business. This is how you can do it too. So if you kind of already understand the first half of this, which is about getting your belief and leading yourself in place, and you're now like grappling with the tactical organizational stuff, then chapter 6 is going to be really valuable for you, because that's where he dives in and he gives you all of his own stuff. I've also done that. I've shown you how I do my emails and I've shown you all, but it's helpful to have someone else who's been in the industry for as long as he has also give you that stuff, so that you can see, oh, wow, it's pretty much the same. Like, this system works, and it works for everyone, whether they're a new coach or they've been with the company for a long time, doesn't matter. So that's really it. Those were the 3 chapters we were supposed to cover today. I'm trying to think. I will be here for the next 3 chapters, but the last team call, I probably will not be here because I will be on a cruise with Beachbody, which, by the way, all people can earn, all coaches can earn. I did, and it's my 2nd trip with them, and I'm super excited. And I just got a notification that I'm getting invited to their 3rd trip for Punta Cana next year, and my husband can't go, so I'm taking Sable, which is exciting. So we'll be in Punta Cana together. So yes, that I will not be on that call for the last week of March. I'm going to ask Sable to go ahead and lead that call for you guys. But hopefully these 3 chapters that we went over begin to inspire you more tactically, like what to do next. Because that's where I see a lot of people kind of get nervous or scared, like how to present the opportunity. And then if they say yes, what do I do next? Like, how do I get them in a system going? Like, he gives you all of that material. So, any questions about those chapters? No? Okay. Super good. All right. Well, then we're going to wrap it up. And I know the internet is being weird and a lot of people weren't able to join because social media is being a butt. So hopefully next week we won't be having this problem and then people can see our notification. All right, loves. I'll see you next time. Have a
See ya.
good day. Bye.